16 June 2016. First order of the business is called to order. In introductions, I'm Carl Killinger, President of the GTCA.
Ayat Saleh, Assistant to General Manager.
You cannot hear.
BOD.
Sagi, Tower 3.
Okay.
Joe Purcell, Director, Tower 1. Wade Weston, Director, Tower 3.
Sonia Kobler, Tower 2.
Rich Fuente, Director at Large.
Justin Mack, Director, Large.
Brian Plunkett, Director at Large.
Richard Miller, Director, Tower 1.
Frank Filippoli, General Manager.
First order of business is reports and remarks. I would just like to announce that this 4th of July, we have the 40th anniversary celebration of the GTEC. We will have a live band with the usual July 4th picnic foods. Please sign up at the spa desk so we have a good head count of who is coming. We're going to move on now to the Treasurer's Controller's report. Oh, I'm sorry. Richard is absolutely right. I have to apologize a little bit. Sometimes my eyes just don't focus today. First order of business is the approval of the open meeting business minutes of May the 19th, 2016. Justin.
Motion to approve the open minutes for the May 19, 2016 meeting.
I
Motion has been seconded and made. Any discussion? There appears to be no discussion. All those in favor of approving the minutes, raise your hand and say aye.
Aye.
It's unanimous. And now on to the Treasurer's and Controller's report.
Good evening. My name is Marissa Foley. I will be presenting the financial report this evening. As of May 31st, the total cash in the depository account was approximately $504,000. The balance in your R&R account was approximately $4.9 million. The escrow account had a balance of about $1.6 million, and the available cash as of May 31st, 2016 was approximately $5.9 million. I will now speak about the accounts receivable as of May 31st. The total accounts receivable from homeowners as of May 31st, 2016 is approximately $3.5 million. Out of the $3.5 million, there are $3.4 million in legal, $31,000 in payment plans, $17,700 with 1 month past due, $5,300 with 2 months past due, and $3,600 over 60 days. We had approximately $295,000 of payments made through the Condo Cafe online payment portal. I will now speak about accounts payable. The total accounts payable as of May 31st, 2016 was $766,324, which includes all invoices posted as of May 31st and our known accruals. Legal invoices account for approximately $58,000. R&R invoices account for approximately $62,000. The breakdown of accounts payable consists of invoices due 0 to 30 days old of approximately $491,000, invoices 31 to 60 days old of $106,000, invoices 61 to 90 days old of approximately $76,000, and invoices over 90 days old of approximately $94,000. As of June 2nd, there were 641 owner occupants and 434 absentee owners. Of the 434 absentee owners, 404 are occupied by tenants. Units occupied tenants represent 38% of the total Galaxy units. Through April 30th, 2016, we are at approximately $55,000 surplus, and the monthly financial package for May will be available at the beginning of next week. This concludes the financial report.
Joe.
There
Just a quick treasurer's report today. For those that were unable to make the finance meeting or just watching the board meeting, we reviewed the 2015 audited financials have been released. And if anybody needs a hard copy, they can request one from the management office. And we just wanted to highlight, once again, this year for 2015, the operating fund did have a surplus of approximately $133,000, so there'll be no need for special assessments in 2016 for prior year costs. So good news for the Galaxy and good news for the homeowners. I think Frank and our management team, as well as the accounting department, deserve a lot of credit for that, as well as the board understanding how to manage to our budget and staying on top of this with the monthly financials and working together as a good solid team here at the Galaxy. So I think that's good news for the homeowners.
Any questions for the treasurer of the
I'd like to thank Joe for all his hard work that he's done and keeping this building running on the budget year after year is actually, people get paid for that. You're doing a great job.
Thank you.
We'll now move on to the manager's report. Frank?
Thank you, Mr. President, members of the board and Galaxy community. It's my pleasure to provide updates on the following projects and initiatives which have taken place in the last month. The restoration team first. In the past month, the restoration team has cleaned the 12th floor garage, prepped and painted the walls, columns, guardrails, and sprinkler pipes in preparation for the final phase of garage reconstruction. In the weeks to come, the contractor will apply the sealer and traffic coating and line striping, which will complete the project for the 12th floor. The transformation is remarkable. It's taking place now, and the community will be able to finally see the fruits of all the pain that has been endured over the past year and a half or so during this heavy construction. The 11th floor will follow shortly. Both of these will be completed by the end of the year. The restoration team will begin to prep, similarly to prep the 11th floor, starting next Monday. Also, in preparation for the 4th of July 40th anniversary event in the mini park, the team painted pergolas, columns, benches, and seats. This work will continue next week with repairs to the hardscaping around the trees. Any rain dates will be filled with garage cleaning and preparations needed for 11th floor, as previously mentioned. Just briefly, a reminder, the toilet supply line replacement initiative. During April, the Board of Directors passed a resolution requiring all unit owners to replace the unsafe plastic toilet supply lines with new industrial braided metal supply lines featuring stainless steel connectors by no later than August 31st of this year. Since the resolution was passed, about 115 homeowners so far have taken advantage of the special promotion, which offers a discounted rate of $20. That rate will apply up to July 31st. Following that date, the regular rates for material and labor will apply. Owners who have not taken advantage of this special promotion but wish to do so are urged to contact the maintenance department and schedule their service as soon as possible. Owners are not required to use the association's in-unit services group for this, and they may elect to use their own contractors or perform the retrofit themselves, as long as it's accomplished by the deadline date of August 31st of this year. A quick thank you to the spa staff. I'd like to take this opportunity to commend Manuel Fajardo, one of the lifeguards at the spa, for saving both a guardian and a small child on June 4th. We also, with that, like to remind all parents and guardians to watch their children closely while near or in the pools. This evening, before you are recommendations for award of 5 contracts, 2 of which are for the much anticipated hallway redecorating project. But first, there are 3 routine leases for office equipment to support administrative operations. First is a 2-year contract with Verizon Wireless for lease of 59 radio phones, which is expiring. The 2-year lease presently in place is now expiring. Verizon has agreed to offer to replace all the phones with new equipment as part of a new 2-year lease with no cost increase over the previous deal. Bids were also taken this month to replace expiring leases for 2 copy machines and a new mail machine system for the accounting office and management office. The combined savings for the copier and mail equipment leases that we're recommending for award this evening are $4,084 a year, or $20,400 in savings over the 5-year life of these leases. In addition, newer mail equipment will feature an automated certified mail module, which will enable us to take advantage of discounted certified mail rates and save an additional $1,100 per year in postage expenses. The total savings then for these 2 leases is therefore $26,000 over the next 5-year lease term for this new equipment. Last but not least, staff is recommending the award of 2 contracts necessary to implement the hallway redecorating project. The first is to award a contract for materials and construction services to the Accent Group of Nutley, New Jersey, to perform demolition of the existing hallway finishes and supply and install new lighting, paint, wall covering, and hardware throughout all the common areas of the Galaxy. Approximately 1 year ago, the planning process for this project began with the board's appointment of a 5-member hallway design committee, followed by award of a contract to the architectural design firm Mancini Duffy of New York for an all-inclusive design and construction administration contract for redecorating the hallways and common areas. Since then, more than 50 committee meetings, board working sessions, and vendor conferences have been devoted to planning the project specifications, contractor qualifications, and bid specifications for this project. The specs were jointly developed by the staff and the design firm, approved by the board. An advertisement for the bids was sent to 15 contracting companies. 5 excellent contracting companies were eventually qualified and invited to submit bids for the project. The base contract bid specifications called for all labor and materials required to perform the demolition, as I previously mentioned, supply materials, and install. These specs included the removal of the elevator lobby vestibule mirrors and the scraping and skim coating of the textured ceilings throughout the property. To provide the board with options, however, to include or exclude the removal of the mirrors and the removal of the textured ceilings, and to choose an alternative wall covering project as well if it so desires, the bidders were qualified to provide alternate pricing for those scenarios. The bids ranged from $5.5 million to $3.2 million for the basic contract, which included all of the options. The Accent Group of Nutley, New Jersey was the lowest bidder for the basic contract and also happened to be the lowest bidder for each of the 3 options or combination of options under every possible scenario. The second hallway redecorating contract is for the carpeting material and installation, which is a subset of the hallway redecorating project. If included under the base contract, which is traditional and customary, it's typical for general contractors to mark up this work by 10% for overhead and another 10% for profit. However, as a strategy for reducing costs, the carpeting component of the project was advertised for bid separately from the base contract for the other work. The coordination then of the work between the hallway redecorating contract and the carpeting contractor will be managed by in-house staff for potential savings of approximately 20% of that segment of the project. The specifications for the carpeting contract were advertised to 7 firms. All 7 firms were pre-qualified and invited to submit bids. The bid specifications called for the provision of a 20-ounce nylon carpet tile product manufactured by Interface Incorporated of Atlanta, Georgia, and also an alternate carpet of comparable specifications made by Milliken & Company of Spartanburg, South Carolina. Bidders were requested to provide pricing for both products, for both scenarios. 6 of the 7 pre-qualified companies did submit bids for this project. Those bids range from approximately $1 million to $600,000 for the interface carpeting product, and from $900,000 down to $526,000 for the Milliken product. Since the technical and performance specifications of the 2 products are materially equal, staff recommends award to the Milliken supplier, which was Brothers Carpet and Flooring of Hackensack, New Jersey, the low bidder at $526,145. This concludes my report. Thank you, Mr. President.
Are there any questions from the board for the general manager? There appear to be no questions. We will move on. Unfinished business, there is no unfinished business. New business, the appointment of a chairperson and members of the Government Affairs Committee. Justin?
Motion to appoint chairperson and members of the Governmental Affairs Committee, Rita Kayla as chairperson, Jokinda Bakshi, Myra Bradsky, Rokiel Day, Ann Persico, Peggy Rackett, and Sherry Zuckerman.
Is there a second? There's, the motion is seconded. Is there any discussion? There appears to be no discussion. All those in favor of the motion, say aye or raise your hand.
Aye.
Motion appears to be unanimously passed. Next motion is the appointment of new members of the Social Committee. Justin?
Appointment of new members. I make a motion to appoint new members to the Social Committee, Ann Persico and Rona Hetzron.
A second?
Second.
Motion is seconded. Any discussion? There appears to be no discussion. All those in favor of the motion, raise your hand and say aye.
Aye.
Motion is carried unanimously. Next motion concerns the change of name of the Garage Safety Committee.
I'd like to make a motion to amend the administration resolution of 13 to change the name of the Garage Safety Committee to the Garage and Plaza Driveway Safety Committee.
Second.
Any discussion? Appears to be no discussion. All those in favor of the motion, raise your hands and say aye.
Aye.
Motion is unanimously passed. The next 3 motions concern leases. Joe, Management Accounting Officer, copier lease.
I make the motion to award a contract to Ace Office Solutions of Hillsborough, New Jersey, in the amount of $19,246 for a 4-year lease of 2 new copiers for the Management and Accounting Office.
Second.
I second.
Motion is seconded. Discussion?
Well, I do believe every time that I went down to the management, the copier was broken.
Any other discussion? There appears to be no other discussion. All those in favor of the motion, raise your hand and say aye.
Aye.
Motion is unanimously passed. Next motion, mail machine.
The motion to award a contract to Jersey Mail Systems of Freehold, New Jersey, in the amount of $20,100 for a 60-month lease of the new mailing system equipment to include a postage machine and a folder inserter machine for the accounting office.
Motion is seconded. Any discussion? There appears to be no discussion. All those in favor, raise your hand or say aye.
Aye.
Motion is unanimously passed. Radio phone service.
Make the motion for the extension of the current contract with Verizon Wireless for the provision of 59 radio phones in the amount of $1,180 per month or $28,320 for the 2-year term.
Second.
Second.
Motion is seconded. Discussion? Appears to be no discussion. All those in favor of the motion, raise your hand and say aye.
Aye.
Motion is unanimously carried. Now we come to the hallway contracting. And again, this is broken into 2 large parts, the basic redecorating contract and the hallway carpeting contract. The first motion concerns the basic redecorating contract.
Motion to award the basic hallway redecorating contract to the Accent Group of Nutley, New Jersey for materials and construction services for common hallway redecorating in the amount of $3,177,869 plus 10% for contingency for a total amount of $3,495,658. This award is contingent upon decision being made on alternative 1, mirrors to remain, alternative 2, ceiling to remain, and alternative 3, change of wall covering.
Is there a second?
I second.
Motion is seconded. Mr. Allen?
As you all know, we hired and paid $200,000 to a reputable design firm in New York City to work with the design committee. We met and worked for several months to come up with a design that we presented to the board and homeowners. The recommendation of the committee and the design firm was to remove the mirrors and popcorns and go with the black and gray color. Luckily, homeowners' feedback supported the designer and the committee's recommendations. In fact, when during the presentation it was stated that the popcorns would be removed, the applause of appreciation was overwhelmingly positive. Based on many criteria, we made our recommendation. We believe that the mirrors are dated. They are old, maybe 20, 25 years old. 30. They are not aligned properly, and they suck a lot of the light in the hallways. The good news is that based on the bids that we got, with removing the mirrors and the popcorn ceiling, still we are very well within the budget. If you want to keep the mirrors, they need to be repaired, needs to be aligned, and will be more costly than removing them. Removing the mirrors modernize the hallways and will add to the value of our property. We are spending about $3.5 million to $4 million. We are renovating our hallways after 30 years, and God knows when we will be renovating it again. So why don't we do it all right? And considering that we have paid $200,000 for one of the top designers in Manhattan, why we won't follow their advice, go with the whole design project that they have suggested and remove the mirrors and the popcorns. To me, doing the hallways without removing the mirrors and the popcorn is like putting clean clothes on dirty body.
Yes, I'd like to comment on removing the mirrors. It seems as though removing the mirrors would add 5 times amount of time to do this project. It took 2 weeks to redo the 16th floor. It took 2 days to do the 15th floor. The people that actually did the removal of the mirrors came in at double what this low bidder came, because they actually know exactly how much work it is to remove those mirrors. Forget about removing the popcorn ceilings. You don't remove the popcorn ceilings, you add plaster. The plaster is going to dry, it's going to crack. In a couple of years, it's not going to look as good as you think it's going to look. And what we're really talking about is aesthetics. And if you really break it down, the carpets, the lowest bid of the carpet was $577,000. These carpets haven't been changed in 30 years. It would cost us $577,000. We spent $800,000 fighting Appleview. We could change these carpets tomorrow for $577,000. You want to spend $4 million and saying we have to break the mirrors down. We have a driveway that's leaking. We have lawsuits because of it, and we're even going to negotiate breaking mirrors.
We voted.
Would like to speak, please?
Yes,
You surveyed, no voting, you surveyed.
Odd.
Yes, just to add to the point regarding the popcorn ceiling. The offers that we have include skin coating of the popcorn ceiling. Not the removal of the popcorn, but skin coating, which based on information that was found, really will last anything between 1 to 3 years before it starts deteriorating. That's all I have to say.
Wait.
yeah. I was asked to join the committee months ago, over a year ago, based on my experience in design and my reputation for projects of the scale that I participated in the past 7 to 9 years. We spent months on this, 10 months of design and research. We hired a design firm. We had a town hall meeting. We took a survey. It wasn't a vote. We took a survey. The majority of the population spoke. We announced the results of that, and we published that to everyone. So whether you call it a survey or a vote, we did take a poll, and those polls were published. Speaking from a design perspective, design is a cohesive collective of materials. It's not a Chinese menu that you can pick and choose from. So to isolate parts of it and break it down based on individual opinion is not a true design concept or perspective. So from my perspective, the entire design was based on a cohesive feel of the entire project. And as a board, yes, we have the authority and the right to pick and choose however you want, but from a design perspective, it was made as a cohesive, solid design with all the parts included. We can save money without destroying the design, or without, not destroying, I don't want to be inflammatory in any way, but without compromising the design. There are significant numbers that can be saved here without changing any part of the design.
Richard?
First of all, I just want to mention, I want to thank Frank because he managed the budget, and it wasn't just picking out carpets and wallpapers. It was a lot of behind-the-scenes work that he did, negotiating with the vendors, and I just wanted to mention that. That's number one. Number two, a lot of the other points I was going to make were already mentioned, but we shouldn't be afraid to spend the money for the proper, updated look. We really have to think about the money we're going to spend. It's amortized over at least 15 years that we may be keeping the hallways. Another thing we have to remember is we're not just doing the hallways for the owners who live here. We're doing it to present and to have an updated look for the people who may buy here or want to have a desire to live here. Because right now, the way the hallways look, they're very dated. And every time I'm in Tower 1, I keep looking at 15th floor with the mirrors up and 16th floor. 16th floor is a unified, cohesive design, like Wade said. 15th floor where the mirrors are up, it's very dated. And then when you put more light there, it's just not a good look. Also, the savings is going to be significant savings on some alternates, like for wallpaper and carpet, if the carpeting works out. And we should not be afraid then to take the mirrors down. And however long it's going to take the mirrors down, I think the owners will appreciate it when the results are in.
I thought about this long and hard, and the mirrors, to take them down would be, I think, such a waste of money and time. The cost, the time, and our lobbies have 3 stories of mirrors in there. I mean, this building was made with these mirrors for these beautiful, fantastic views that we have. You go down to 16, and you need a coat. It's a very cold feeling down there. It's like a hospital room. Thank God I've never been in a hospital room, but that's what it would feel like. And especially when an elevator door opens up, you see the warmth of the tan, and there is some black in there when an elevator opens up on the 16th floor. And you can see such a clash of cold and warm. So with that, I think we should keep the mirrors. I like the mirrors. They bring a warmth to it. One more thing that I'd like to mention as well is that the signage that we're going to have, we don't even know what type of signage we're going to have when we come out of the elevators. And the other thing is the popcorn ceiling or the textured ceiling. To just sand it down lightly and put a skim coat on there, it sounds like a bandage job to me. I think we'd be better off just keeping the ceiling and keeping the mirrors, and we can work something out with the colors.
Now, before we start another round, and I believe everybody has spoken primarily, remember the motion we're voting on, I think you've spoken earlier.
No, I just wanted to give Brian an option.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Oh, okay.
But I just want to remind everybody, the motion we're voting now is all in. We're not, the motion we're voting now would mean you take down the up-on ceilings and you leave up the mirrors and you don't change the wall.
Take down the mirrors,
You don't take down the mirrors.
No,
Take down the mirrors, I'm sorry. I'm confused. Richard is right, Jude. So, this is what the committee recommended, is what we're voting on now. Okay?
Motion to amend.
Okay?
My motion would be to award the contract to Accent with the two options of leaving the mirrors up and not removing them publicly.
This is alternate one, and this is alternate two.
I'm making a motion, I'm amending the motion to award the contract without taking down the mirrors and without removing the textured ceiling.
Is there a second?
I second it.
Is there a discussion of this motion? There seems to be no discussion of the motion. All those in favor? Go ahead.
Remember, we have paid $200,000 to bring the designer.
That's a lie, you didn't pay anybody $200,000.
Please speak.
That's a lie.
Please.
That's a lie, don't lie.
What do you mean lie?
They didn't pay anybody $200,000.
Justin, you can speak after and correct.
Okay.
Approximately $200,000 the cost of this designer firm. So if you just wanted to change the carpet, why did we pay that money? If you wanted to, do it ourselves and keep the mirrors, which is 30 years old, if you wanted to keep the popcorn, which is really dated, is for the 70s, why did we bring I can't understand why we brought the designer firm and we spent $200,000, and we all know that this board is very fiscally conservative. And on top of that, we have got, the committee has worked on it. The designer has basically came up with this design, and when we presented to the homeowners, they loved it. They had a feedback. We are spending $4.5 million, $4 million. God knows when again we're going to do the hallways. How come we just want to patch it? How come we just want to do part of it and not the whole thing? And also these mirrors, a lot of mirrors are broken. They are not aligned. They need to be repaired. The cost of the repairing the mirrors hasn't been mentioned there. And also regarding the timing, this is something that you say, without any basis for that. The construction companies, they came up with a timeline for removing the mirrors.
Can we call the question?
You can't call the question